a major Bitcoin buying signal has just flashed, one that historically has given us some pretty interesting price realities. So this is called the hash ribbon indicator. Now this basically is connected to Bitcoin miners and their profitability. Long story short, it's flashing the capitulation signal for miners, which historically has been an interesting time for, well, you, me, and everybody else to buy some Bitcoins. You can see here is the capitulation signal that has been happening over the last few days as Bitcoin seems almost stuck, right? I mean, seriously, we have been ranging sideways for Bitcoin since June 21st. June 21st, of course, we had the big breakout on the BlackRock ETF news and the application, all that stuff. And ever since then, we've just been ranging sideways, man. It's been pretty crazy. But that has given us a capitulation signal for the hash ribbons for the Bitcoin miners. Now, when was the last time we had capitulation signals like this? Well, we had one back in early January, after which we saw the price go from $16,000 up to $30,000 in the course of a couple of months. Previous to that, when did we have a capitulation signal? Now, this came in mid 2022. That lasted until August 2022. Now, that didn't actually mark the bottom. The bottom, of course, came at the FTX collapse in November. But buying during that capitulation area, currently, if you had bought then, if you'd been averaging in then you'd be up 50% right now on those purchases, assuming, of course, you didn't capitulate when the going got rough. Go back a little bit further in time, we can see that we had another big capitulation event back in mid 2021 for miners. And of course, that'll eventually give a buy signal here as well, which you can buy at any point during the capitulation period on the hash ribbons and generally come out okay later on. So had you bought at any time on that capitulation event here in mid 2021, you could have, of course, sold it for 100% profits later on that year. Now, it's not always perfect. For example, we saw in May 21, we had a capitulation signal actually come in here, and we did have a little rally that kicked off after that, but then, of course, the bigger bearish impulse came after that. So there you go. There you go. That's a very interesting indicator. So we'll see how it plays out this time. Will it give us a nice rally? Is it signaling to us that, hey, is Bitcoin sitting here at $30,000 attempting to do something? It's actually a great time to be purchasing before Bitcoin ETFs get approved and we see the price go crazy. Maybe. I like this chart shared by Bitcoin Archive. So last time the NASDAQ 100 led Bitcoin higher by this much, Bitcoin ripped into a parabolic run. Interesting. Now, largely, we see Bitcoin following pretty closely with the equity markets historically, or at least over the past 4 or 5 years. That being said, we have been rather decorrelated at the moment, as this chart actually shows, where we have this big gap between the current price of Bitcoin and, of course, the performance of the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100, of course, very relevant for us because it's a very tech-heavy index. So it's very interesting to see this disconnect between the two. And could that be a good sign for Bitcoin moving forward? Have we simply been held down while stocks are rallying like crazy? The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, they're nearing new all-time highs, right? Or at least vicious double tops, but we'll think about that later. Bitcoin has lagged behind. The entire crypto market has lagged behind. And sure, there's been aberrations within the market this year in crypto, where we've had some coins that have gone to do crazy gains. Pepe, for example, made millionaires overnight. But we haven't established a strong market trend yet. Bitcoin continues to lag behind. So we shall see if we catch up or not in the near future. I liked this chart here from Bitcoin News. Study out found that 23% of American digital asset investors think that Bitcoin will come back to its all-time high price of $70K within the next year. Now, it's a minority view. 23% think that we could get back to a new high within the next year. Now, it depends on when this question was asked. And of course, will we rally to a new high just after the Bitcoin halving? So if we go for a year ahead, we would be 2 or 3 months after the Bitcoin halving. So a new high, then not a new all-time high, just a new high price, right? So we get to $70,000 over the previous $69,000 high. Sure, that sounds realistic. Although the 47% who think within the next 5 years, I wonder if they had this question properly explained to them, because I feel when I read this is, when are we going to see a new high price, not necessarily when are we going to see the new all-time high price put in for Bitcoin. Because if you ask me that question, my guess would be the new all-time high price for Bitcoin is going to be sometime very late 2024, like December 2024, or more likely, again, my opinion, sometime into early 2025. So Q1 or maybe even as late as Q2 2025, we'll see that new top price formed at 150K, maybe 180K, something like this, depending on what kind of bullishness comes in between now and then. All-time high supply by Bitcoin holders has reached a new all-time high. This is great. I love this. I love to see the utter conviction of your average Bitcoin holder. It's crazy. It's crazy. What other assets do this? I don't even know, but it's nuts to see the kind of just hardcore hodling mentality from the average Bitcoin holder. Which, of course, gets back to the first rule of Bitcoin. You never sell your Bitcoin. You never sell your Bitcoin. You hodl it to the grave and you take your private keys with you, because when you take your private keys with you, it increases the scarcity for everybody else. Back in reality land. Look, I get never selling your Bitcoin. There's a certain amount of my Bitcoin I have a very long time frame on. I look at it as the escape of fiat. However, swing trading your Bitcoin across cycles has made a lot of people a lot of money. And everybody's in different financial situations. So you have to keep in mind, there are people out there who are going to tell you, hey, never, ever, ever sell your Bitcoin. You need to make your own decisions. This is what it comes down to. If I have Bitcoin that I don't plan on selling and holding for a very, very long time, I'm not you. I'm not you. You're not me. Maybe you've been diligent, you've been buying Bitcoin, and you've got an average entry price of like $25,000, and you see the price go up to $150,000 or $180,000 per Bitcoin, and you're looking at money that could be life-changing money for you. Maybe you take that money, and there's nothing wrong with that. And people will shame you for it. There's definitely a lot of shaming. There's sell shaming is what it's called. How dare you sell because you're selling means something bad for my bags. Don't let that mentality get to your head. If you want to sell, you can sell. And look, if Bitcoin is up to 150, 180K, whatever it might be, you can sell, you can take profits, you can rebuy your position in the next bear market when the price goes down 75%, because it will. Probably. Probably will. Of course, we all have to make our own decisions, and we all have our own different ideas for this asset and how we play it. Now, before we get into the big news affecting the market this week, if you are a trader, you need to get yourself an account over on BYBIT. Is the best place to be trading a wide variety of different crypto coins. So if you want to get it checked out, they got great futures markets, great spot markets, very popular copy trading, and of course, if you use the link down below, you'll get exclusive fee discounts as well as up to $30,000 in trading and deposit bonuses. So if you are a trader, check it out. Now let's talk about the Bitcoin ETFs, man. The SEC has accepted 6 spot Bitcoin ETF proposals for review. That's just for review. So it's BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Fidelity, and Invesco. Just some of the world's biggest asset managers. Of course, together, those companies have like $20 trillion in assets amongst them, a fraction of which would buy all the Bitcoins. All the Bitcoins. We only need about $60 billion to basically buy up all of the Bitcoin off of exchanges at current prices, of course, attempting to buy all the Bitcoin off of exchanges and send the price sky high, but you get the point. Now, this is not to say that the SEC is, well, we've accepted their proposals for review, so they're all definitely going to get passed. No. It'd be nice if that was the case, but that's not the case. This is just a step in the process. This is the SEC acknowledging, yeah, we received your letter in the mail. Thanks. Now we need to see them actually take some action on this. Now, the first deadline is in about 3 weeks' time, actually, and that is for, I believe, the ARK one, which they're filing in conjunction with, I think, the Bitwise, one of these guys. So that's the first one that comes up in about 3 weeks' time. Approve or deny, we shall see. Probably delay. The key timeline here that I think we all need to be keeping an eye on is about March of next year, which is just like crazy if it ends up being March next year. Because March next year is basically the SEC's final deadline past all possible extensions, where they have to give a final definitive answer. Can they or can they not approve Bitcoin ETFs? Will they or will they not? Can they? Of course they can. Will they is a different question. So that could be the key date for investors to be watching, which of course lines up with the Bitcoin halving and the entire cycle. It's so crazy how it works out sometimes. But they might surprise us if they bring out a Bitcoin ETF in the next few weeks or next few months. We could see the cycle breaking its pattern. I would not be surprised to see a mega rally for Bitcoin come in if we get Bitcoin ETFs from the world's biggest asset managers all approved within a very short amount of time. Wouldn't blow my mind. I've seen crazier in crypto. Now let's talk about the Federal Reserve meeting coming up. That's scheduled for the 25th and 26th of this week. Of course, all eyes on the Fed, what they are going to do. Are they going to raise interest rates again? They've said they will. They've said to expect 2 more 25 basis point or 0.25% interest rate hikes. Can the market take it? Jerome Powell's sitting there looking at the markets in complete frustration as he realizes that he has not murdered the jobs market. He has not destroyed the stock markets. He really wanted you to lose your home and to lose your job and to lose all of your investments and for everything to go to zero. But he's not succeeded yet. He will keep trying. He's broken the banks. He's broken the dollar. But he has not yet broken the average American retail investor who's FOMOing in and YOLOing their money into the stock market, into NVIDIA, into Apple stocks. Unfortunately, not big time into crypto yet. Most of the money is chasing the equity markets right now. But we should expect another rate hike this week. The Fed may surprise us and say, hey, look, we've done enough on inflation. Remember, inflation went down real hard, real fast this month. We dropped from 4 down to 3%. It's getting pretty damn close to getting back to the 2% target. I mean, 3% is good enough if you ask me, but I'm not the Federal Reserve, so they have a different opinion, obviously, and they may raise interest rates again just to put the nail in the coffin and say, yeah, we're sure it's dead. Did you put the stake through the heart? Yeah, we did that too. Did you chop its head off? Yeah, we did that too. Did you stuff some garlic in its mouth? Yeah, we did that too. Did you burn the body? Yeah, we got that too. Okay. Everything's done. Inflation monster has been slain. This may be the Fed's thinking, but definitely that's something that can move the market a bit this week. So keep an eye on it. Largely, though, these things tend to get priced in by the market before it actually happens, although expect some price volatility on the day. If you were trying to trade on leverage on the day, be careful. You might get rinsed out pretty damn easily. Now let's talk about Ripple XRP. The SEC has asserted that the Ripple XRP case was wrongfully decided. Isn't that every single loser of every single court case ever? The judge got it wrong. I was right. They were wrong. Okay. Anyway, they said they're going to probably appeal. They have not filed an appeal yet, to be clear. That may take some time for them to put the paperwork together, figure it out, decide if they actually want to waste another $100 million of taxpayer money fighting with Ripple. However, that could take years to play out. The appeal might take 2, 3, 4 years to play out in court. Think about the initial XRP case, the initial Ripple case. It took 3 years in court to play out. That's a damn long time in crypto land. So basically right now, we are working under the assumption that altcoins are not securities. If XRP is not a security, then Solana is not a security, Cardano is not a security, Matic's not a security, and all these other things are not securities. they're going to fall under the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission. So they are going to be considered as commodities, or potentially even we need a new definition for these digital assets. But regardless, between now and let's say 2 years from now, if we have a 2-year appeal process, then all the altcoins are basically getting the green light to go, 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 go. That again aligns with 2025, the start of the next bear market. Maybe the SEC wins their appeal, and that creates chaos in the altcoin markets. And we enter the new vicious bear market as we see all of the leverage unwinding and things collapsing, gnashing of teeth and pulling of hair and all that fun kind of stuff that happens every few years in crypto. So the SEC has said they're going to appeal, of course, the ruling, but yes, it will be years before we get something definitive if they do actually put in the appeal. Even if they do appeal, though, I would like to point out, this is just, I'm theorizing here, but even if they do put in an appeal, I want to make it clear, they might not even win, right? They may not even win the appeal if they do put in an appeal. In fact, they probably won't. And there may be a new administration, a new SEC. The SEC may even withdraw their appeal if we have a new head at the SEC and a new administration. So there's so many variables that can play out over the next few years. And again, we see that crypto markets move so fast. Regulation doesn't, but crypto markets do. So what happens in a couple years' time is a very, very long time away. And there's a lot of money that can be made between now and whenever that happens.